You've picked quite the place to set up shop, stranger.
Aye, and look what it brought me.
45, huh? Incredible.
The weapon class that needs no fancy introduction, everyone's favorite, the Magnums. These Covenant weapons are usually known for the highest damage output and scarce ammo. However, when you need one, you'll be glad you had it. From one-shotting Ganados to wiping the floor with major bosses, these weapons could do it all. I have always had a soft spot for the Magnums in the Resident Evil series, and we have a real treat with the selection this time around. This showcase will put up each of these Magnums against every boss and most enemies you'll encounter on your trip in the Resident Evil 4 Remake. Check out the timestamps below for the specific weapons. All gameplay is on professional.
Next.
All my wares, I see you have an eye for things. Gun's not just about shooting, it's about reloading. You'll know what I'm talking about.
The first Magnum you'll encounter in the game is the Broken Butterfly. This weapon is based on the real-life Smith & Wesson Schofield. This weapon is first available in Chapter 7 for 42,000 pesetas, unless you grab it for 30% off from the merchant. This Magnum starts off with a modest amount of power. However, once fully upgraded, it is the strongest Magnum of the three. The Broken Butterfly will cost you 514,000 pesetas to fully upgrade. The stats are as follows: power of 27, ammo capacity of 10, reload speed of 0.86, rate of fire of 1.33, and a precision of 2.0. The exclusive upgrade multiplies the power by 1.5x, outshining the power output from the other Magnums, including the Handcannon.
It's go time. That do anything?
Despite the Butterfly no longer being a hybrid of Schofield in the Colt single action, the rear frame resembles the Smith & Wesson Model 3, which was the first cartridge-firing revolver adopted by U.S. forces in 1870.
Honestly, this might be the only gun you need.
Ladder. But I'm a one-lady type of guy.
The second Magnum in the game is the Killer 7. This weapon is modeled after the real-life Colt 1911 variant, the AMT Hardballer. This weapon is first unlocked when you reach the island in Chapter 13, costing a reasonably priced 77,700 pesetas.
The Killer 7's feeding ramp has been polished to a mirror sheen, the slide's been reinforced, and the interlock with the frame is tightened for added precision. The sight system is original too. The thumb safety is extended to make it easier on the finger. A long type trigger with non-slip grooves and a ring hammer. The base of the trigger guard's been filed down for a higher grip, and not only that, nearly every part of the Killer 7 has been expertly crafted and customized.
Starting out, the Killer 7 does have more power than the other Magnums. However, this will change once everything is upgraded, as it ends up with the lowest total power. Don't let this fool you though, it is no slouch. The Killer 7 is the only Magnum capable of using a laser sight, making it the most accurate. This alone can have the potential of making it a higher DPS, since you'll be landing more shots on targets. This weapon will cost you 505,700 pesetas to fully upgrade. The stats are as follows: power of 28, ammo capacity of 15, reloading speed of 1.4, rate of fire of 1.16, and a precision of 2.5. The exclusive gives it a 5x critical rate. The AMT Hardballer is pretty well known for being featured in the Terminator, but it got its name in Resident Evil from Capcom's 2005 game, Killer 7.
Stranger. What you need that for? Going hunting an elephant?
The third and final Magnum in the game is a renowned Handcannon. This weapon is modeled after the real-life Smith & Wesson Model 500. You can unlock this weapon in one of two ways: complete the game on Professional without the use of any bonus weapons, or achieve S rank on 3 Mercenary maps. The easier and quicker route to unlock it will be the Mercenaries. Check out the guides I have on my channel if you need them. Speaking of which, I have done a full standalone video for the Handcannon previously that is linked below. Check that out if you want a closer look at this weapon without it competing with its siblings.
Time to get medieval on your asses.
Once your unlock criteria is met, you must buy it from the bonus shop for 1,000 points. Buying it from the merchant will cost 50,000 pesetas and fully upgrading for another 540,000 pesetas.
Yeah, that's right.
The stats are as follows: power 36, ammo capacity of 9, reloading speed 0.63, rate of fire of 0.65, and a precision of 1.8. The exclusive makes the weapon have infinite ammo, nullifying the capacity and reloading speed.
Flattered. But I'm a one-lady type of guy.
Wearing Leon's pinstripe outfit unlocks a unique reload animation similar to the Chicago Sweeper. Introductions aside, these Magnums really do speak for themselves when it comes to the gameplay. I could sit here and tell you what works for what boss the best, but this may be a case of show, don't tell. Sit back and watch in real time how these weapons bully the game's bosses. Timestamps will be below for each boss, and the afterthoughts and rankings.
You want to get ugly? Let's get ugly. Guess your tap dancing days are over. Guess your tap dancing days. Guess your tap dancing days are over. Give my regards to your god. Son of a bitch! Come on. So we're playing hide and seek, is that it? Shit. Son of a bitch! Looks like it's gonna take more than that. More than that. Son of a bitch! Finally, some peace and quiet. My condolences to your master.
Vulgar, utterly uncivilized mongrel!
So don't get too carried away. You'll be just seeing solver.
Leave me out of your crappy script.
Well then. So don't get too carried away. You'll be just seeing solver.
Leave me out of your crappy script.
You were. You were nothing but an extra nice script. Steve Kennedy. Well, you worthless piece of filth.
Time for the teacher to be taught.
Oh, such confidence. Bring it, rookie! Are you ready, rookie?
Yeah. Let's settle this.
Are you ready, rookie?
Yeah. Let's settle this.
Right. Are you ready, rookie?
Yeah. Let's settle this.
Yourself open! Yes! Come at me, rookie! Show me what it is you... You renegade! You have forsaken the holy body.
I'll give you a holy body.
Blasphemous desecration, such unforgivable heresy. Yet is it not the sinner who is in most need of salvation? Nail before your powerfulest style that he shall bless you once more with the holy body. Oh, do not. I hear their voices. Those martyrs once. Dreadful disciples assemble! Besiege! You know they never escape!
So you can certainly see that despite the various strengths and weaknesses of the three weapons, they all hold their own weight. However, the elephant in the room that you should be out hunting for survived because the hand cannon just is not that good in the remake. It really suffers from the inaccuracy and the slow rate of fire this time around. The Broken Butterfly is stronger, the Killer 7 is much more accurate, and both are faster. Playing through the game with the three Magnums, I found that the easiest gun to use was the Killer 7. The fast fire rate coupled with the laser accuracy, I could quickly dispatch the surrounding enemies and land pretty much every shot on target. On paper, the Butterfly is much more powerful, but I just found that the accuracy made it suffer in some situations. My last pick would be the Handcannon. For most bosses, it ended up taking me longer to take them down despite its staggering power. From missing shots to not being able to follow up as quickly, the time to kill was much higher than the other two. The Killer 7 is my top choice in the Resident Evil 4 remake, and like the merchant said, this might be the only gun you need. That does it for the Magnum showcase. What are your thoughts on the Magnums in a remake? Drop your comments below to keep the conversation going. Subscribe for more Resident Evil content.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?